Well, it's a major media shakeup that speaks volumes about how the news business works today. Katie Couric is one of broadcasting's biggest names, but she's leaving ABC News to become Yahoo News' global anchor. Not too long ago, the idea of someone with Katie Couric's stature jumping to online news might have seemed far-fetched. But Couric is just the latest in a list of high-profile Yahoo News hires, including New York Times tech columnist David Pogue, Times Magazine political writer Matt Bai, and Times Magazine deputy editor Megan Lieberman. Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer says that group will pioneer a new chapter of digital journalism. Not everyone is convinced.
Katie, unfortunately, is going to disappear into the ether once she's on Yahoo.
But whether she flops or thrives, Couric has already shown just how much the media landscape is changing. Well, my next guest worked as an editorial producer for The Katie Show. Susie Banikarim is also a former ABC News producer. She's now a fellow at Harvard's Nieman Foundation for Journalism, studying just this kind of thing.
Just this kind of thing.
Welcome, Susie. So this, I think, took a lot of people by surprise. Even though they'd heard that maybe the Katie Couric show might not be renewed, it looks like that's going to be renewed also. So this is going to be spreading herself thin.
Yeah, I don't think it's certain that it'll be renewed. Certainly, I think she will consider this and the time commitment this will require. Sure. And honestly, that show hasn't been sort of all that she dreamed it would be. So I think she will make the Yahoo deal her priority. But she's always had a lot of interest in technology. When she was at CBS News, she did this at Katie Couric interview series, which at that time was relatively innovative. She's very active on social media. So I think she's been looking for a way to really expand into that space.
I went on Yahoo today and yesterday for the first time in years. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, well, what do you even use Yahoo for? I couldn't remember. It was search engine and all that. But the news page was very, very traditional. It had a lot of AP stories, news of the day. It wasn't quirky news at all. I mean, what, is it going to be completely reimagined?
You know, I think it's going to be a little bit of a combination. The truth is that 800 million people a month still go to Yahoo. So despite the fact that we aren't those users, there are still a lot of people who go to Yahoo for a variety of reasons. And I think the fact is that they are actually a huge news content provider. A lot of people do go there just for those kinds of stories you're talking about, the AP, the Reuters. They have deals with those guys. So I think that this idea here is to drive some sort of very specific branded news content. They're a huge news provider, but they don't really have a brand, and this will help them get to that place.
So the idea is, if what I've read is correct, she will do some kind of a signature interview once a day, I mean, with a newsmaker, and then that's posted there. Is it continuous? Is it streaming? Can you watch it anytime you want? Do you have any understanding about it?
You know, I think they haven't made any announcements about that. They've been sort of specifically vague. But I think my guess is that it wouldn't be streaming, and that it would be sort of a variety of that at Katie Couric show she did, which was this opportunity to do sort of longer interviews. She would do 20, 30 minutes with a guest who she might otherwise only have a few minutes with. And also, Katie really feels strongly about some issues that don't play as well in daytime. Certainly things like childhood obesity and Alzheimer's, she can cover them on her daytime show, but not in the depth that she would like to. So I think this will give her an opportunity to do some sort of big, high-profile interviews and also cover some of these meatier issues that the daytime audience isn't always as invested in. And I think the other thing is that she will be able to go to breaking news events. So she will be able to play when something like Newtown happens, which we covered very extensively at Katie.
She did a great job with.
Yeah, she did a great job with, and it's really the kind of story she responds to. She'll still be able to do that kind of coverage as well. So for her, it really allows her to, follow her interests in a way that the talk show, I don't think, did entirely.
I got to wonder. I mean, I even looked for David Pogue and Matt Bai. Maybe they haven't started yet. I couldn't find their stuff readily today. And I have the same question I always ask in these new media formats. It's like, how do they make any money? They've got to be paying Katie millions. I don't know how much they're paying David Pogue and all the other people, but how do they make the money off of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think they are paying them big bucks, and I think that's why they're getting them, right? They're making them offers they can't refuse. And, the truth is that the money comes from the advertisers. I mean, Marissa Mayer has done a great job of trying to, breathe some life into the Yahoo brand, but the ad revenues are her primary concern. And the truth is that people are moving away from television. We know fewer people have television, and we know advertising dollars are going with those eyeballs. So, in that scenario, I think that if they invest not just in these big names, but in actually creating a hub and an experience that you can connect to, the advertising dollars will follow, and it will make it worthwhile.
All right. The Bloomberg guy that we had in the setup piece said she's going to disappear into the ether. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a less high-profile home in some ways, right? I mean, we tend to still think of television as the primary medium, but I don't think she'll disappear into the ether. I mean, I think it just depends on what your particular ether is, I mean, if you're on Twitter, you already see Katie a lot. Yeah. And if you're on Facebook and if you're on Yahoo, 800 million people, that's a lot of people. So,
all right, check it out. We'll see you in a year or so. All right. Susie Barry-Caron, thank you so much.